Yo guys, what's going on? It's Davey Trades here. I am not at my typical trade station today, so the video is a little bit different at the backdrop, camera position, etc. But I still wanted to pump out a little bit of content on YouTube here. So I wanted to go over that price action that we saw on Friday, which actually wasn't the greatest price action, but I ended up having a really solid day where I took three positions. I had I took three positions. I had three winners, and I can't really complain. Although Friday was a day where obviously it's gonna test your patience, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over it. Let's check out. Let's get into it. Let's check out where we were here. So as we can see, the London session starts around this time here, right? We have a nice upward trend to the top side, right? Which is great to always see. And then we kind of get into this sideways price action here. Now, let's check into our higher time frame, right? We are still in this bullish price action, but we are trapped in this stage one accumulation model, right? Or a reaccumulation model with the expectancy that our next move is probably something like this, right? There might be a little bit of a back and forth, maybe some kind of a drop down, but the move overall eventually will be heading to the top side. So we're gonna go back to Friday's price action on my entry time frame, which is my 15-second. And we're gonna check out what happened here. So we have obviously our New York open here. Big push up to the top side. So there's volume in the market today, which is always nice to see. We have our indicator here showing us that we're looking at a little bit of bearish price action. I do not take an entry in this, although this is actually not a bad place to take an entry. But it was too early on into our trend. If you remember our last video, we're talking about more defined trending markets, right? It did end up taking an entry here, which ended up playing beautifully to the downside for +2. And then right after that move happened, we went into about 45 minutes of just untradeable price action. And a lot of traders, you're going to see, they get caught up in here, right? Because they're trying to catch moves that are happening in a choppy environment, which just simply doesn't work, right? Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll catch a nice move to the top side or coming out of this type of stage one accumulation, right? But that's not what we look for, right? What we look for is we look for more solid moves, right? So again, we start seeing, right, a down move sideways, right? And then a downwards continuation, which I love to see. So we see some volume come to the downside here. A little bit of a sideways move, right? I take another position, +2. So right now we are at +4 for the day, right? Again, this position here is taken on one prop firm. This position here is taken on another prop firm. Then we get another kind of miniature, or I should say a fractal stage one within our stage two delivery, right? Which gives me another position that I take here for another +2. So we are at +6 RR today, right? Across three different prop firms. All prop firms have 5 accounts per prop firm. So we made about $6,000 today. And that is just simple trading. It took a lot of waiting, right? But one thing I wanted to go over is just market context. It's extremely important that you pay attention to the market context, which is why I like this indicator that I use so much. It's a simple EMA, right? But it's like an EMA on steroids because it gives you an environment, it allows you to decide, you know, it's showing us a stronger trend, which is always what we want to be involved in, right? We're traders that look for trends, and it gives you an opportunity to take small positions. Now, as a trader, we do not want to get positioned here, right? Or in here. We want to have the clean moving context, right? Which is like this, right? And then we find our positions within these corrections, right? So we have volume, we have a correction, and then we have a continuation, VCC, volume to the downside, right? This starts to glow. We have a correction to the or sideways price action or reaccumulation of orders, and then a continuation, right? So we are trying to catch these moves, and that takes a little bit of skill, it takes some patience, but it's actually really, really simple once you start learning exactly what it is that you need to look for in the market, right? So after this move, we're done for the day. We don't need to trade anymore. Why bother, right? We just start going back into this really choppy, really choppy back and forth price action. It has somewhat of a trend, but if you look at the context of the market, like this is just an ugly, ugly trend, right? Like you can't, it's really, really difficult to catch moves coming out of it within price action like this. So we don't bother. We don't look for that. It's junk. It's trash. It's just not worth putting any risk behind because you're just asking to get minus ones. Right? Again, we have, it is trending, but it's really, like if you take a look at this type of price action, it's really choppy, it's wicky, right? The candles are small. These are only 15-second candles, right? So if we take a look at that compared to the entries that I took here, right? What looks cleaner to you, right? It's extremely obvious. These candles are full body candles, right? These areas here give you signs of weakness, and that's where you can start looking for entries, okay? Now my question to you guys is, let's see if we can find, where was a really nice trending day or a really nice trending move? I think we had one. Yeah, here. Let's take our price back here. And then let's get into our 15-second. Now my question to you guys is, I know that trading seems complex, it seems difficult, it seems random and sporadic, but I promise you it's not actually as random as you think. I think that a lot of traders struggle because they find it difficult to wait for the proper market context. Now my question to you guys is, do you think that you can create a profitable system, right, where there's a move like this, but all we want to take out is something like this? Do you guys think that you can create a system that allows you to remove this much out of the market on a move this large and be profitable? That's an easy answer. And it's, of course, yes, you can. This is what I do, right? Now I've scaled my position, or I've scaled my accounts so that I'm working with multiple prop firms, and I do like to take more than one position in order to make more money, right? But I am able to wait for the proper market conditions, right? But this can be a starting place for you guys. It's super simple. All you have to do is just wait for a nice, beautiful trending market, something clean, and then we don't need to catch the entire move, right? Let's say that we have 5 accounts here, right? Times 5. This move right here is $1,000. How many of you would actually benefit from an extra I don't know, $1,000 to $2,000 a month, I think that majority of the world would benefit from that. Now, as traders, of course, we want more money, and we can always make more money. It takes a while to get there, but it's extremely possible, right? And that's one of the things I want you guys to think of next time you're upset that, or next time you're taking losses in a market condition like this, right? You can simply wait to see something more like this, where we have our volume, right? Our correction, sideways, and our continuation. VCC, volume correction continuation. That's all we're looking for. That's my lesson for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.